Assalamualaikum and hello doctor. My name is Nur Haliza Muhammad from Group 4 and with other member will present group assignment. The title we got is Business Turnover Holiday in Resort. The case study we search and learn is Holiday in Resort, the 4-star hotel and one of the best hotel in Malaysia. Located in Penang, however, due to the pandemic COVID-19 hit in Malaysia and the implementation of Movement Control Order (MCO) by the government in 2020, lot of the industry have been affected and Holiday Inn Resort is one of them. According to Moody 2021, in business turnover refer to relate at which a company's assets sell or outlive their usefulness. Also relate which your employers leave. Therefore, Holiday Inn Resort case, business turnover means closing due to the resort extensive cost and management, plus the implementation of MCO by the government have caused the resort to have no income to operating the resort. Next, we go to the agency that can help this hotel to build up. Central Bank of Malaysia or Bank Negara Malaysia is a governmental organization that began operation on January 26, 1959. This bank have played a major developmental role in enhancing the financial inclusion initiative by developing the financial system infrastructure. This is to ensure that financial services are available to all economy sector and segments of society. Since Holiday Inn Resort business facing financial problems, the management of Inn Resort contact the National Bank to request a period of time to settle the debt. It can also ask for some idea to solve this problem immediately. Next, we go to Credit Counsel and Debt Management Agency. The Credit Counseling and Debt Management Agency or AKPK was established by Central Bank of Malaysia in April 2006 to assist individuals in gaining control of their financial circumstances and gaining peace in mind through responsible credit utilization. AKPK's mission to provide individuals with the necessary skills to handle money responsibly, allowing them to live within their means and achieve their financial goals. To assist people limit their spending and debt, AKPK offer free one-on-one financial counseling and practical money management advice. AKPK can help this Holiday Inn Resort business instead of being business turnover and start up the business again in the future considering MCO is no longer valid in Malaysia. This is because to start a business require an amount financial and continuous over a period of time. Besides that, we go to Inland Revenue Board or IRBM. It's one of the government agency under the auspices of the Ministry of Finance, where it is responsible for collecting and administering the country direct tax. Among the main functions of this agency is to act as a government agency and provide service in the field of administration, collecting and enforcement of income tax, petroleum income tax, and land gain tax, and several more. As for Holidays Inn Resort issues, one of the things that the hotel owner can do is to appeal against the penalty for the paying the remaining tax for the hotel. Penalty appeal for the unpaid tax balance can be made by writing and appeal within 30 days after the hotel receives the assessment notice issued by the IRB collecting unit branch.
One of the skills that human service workers can apply for Holiday Inn Resort to overcome this situation is having excellent interpersonal, listening and communication skills in both verbal and written work. For Holiday Inn Resort to get back on business, human service workers will communicate with clients to get information, convey critical information and make important decisions. A human service worker must have a good skill in storing and sharing information. In Holiday Inn Resort situation, when helping clients in a variety of ways and settings, human service worker will be given and collect a large amount of data and information. Finally, is assessing problem and stress. Human service worker must be able to know and identify the issues that the client is facing. For an example, restaurants in Holiday Inn Resort cannot provide food to the customer because they lack food suppliers and of course distribution in business operation. As a result, it has affected their sales for that period as well as the entrepreneurs had to temporarily close or shorten their business operating hours. When the issues have been identified and known the strength that the company has, a human service worker can provide an intervention plan to the client.
Accepting differences and understanding the incredible thing that may be accomplished when they are integrated into an organization's culture is what diversity is all about. Diversity can be defined as the acceptance, understanding, and appreciation of variation among people based on age, class, ethnicity, gender, disability, and other factors. As employees, we should practice diversity in the workplace because diversity in the workplace entails establishing an environment in which everyone is accepted for who they are. It is critical for employers to incorporate diversity within their organization. This is due to the fact that variety is an important aspect of human service. By implementing diversity in their organization, such as optimizing and exploiting diversity in the workplace and understanding cultural differences, they can solve existing challenges in the company and immediately contribute to increased profitability. Furthermore, one of the advantages of workplace diversity is flexibility and innovation, both of which are critical to the success of individual, employer, and businesses. As a hotelier, one of the most important aspects to ensure yours and your company's success is inventiveness. This is due to the fact that by thinking imaginatively, we can capture people's attention and gain their trust. To ensure the viability of their business, a hotel must practice diversity as an employer. They must also think creativity in order to persuade customers to save their business. To summarize, not only human service professionals, but everyone, including employers, must implement the notion of diversity in the workplace in order to secure the success of the employment and enterprise. Furthermore, putting this concept of diversity into practice might assist individuals avoid committing other workplace violations, such as oppression, bullying, and discrimination.
To solve the problems that have been faced by Holiday Inn Resort, human service worker needs to carry out an intervention process to help the organization recover their business. Therefore, the first process that needs to be carried out by the human service worker is to make a client identification and outreach. Human service worker needs to identify the customer who regularly use the service provided by the Holiday Inn Resort. This is to help the Holiday Inn Resort to regain its customer by focusing on customer that needs to be improved by them. Human service workers also needs to outreach the customer to get information on the real problem that faced by the Holiday Inn Resort that caused them to suffer a huge bankruptcy, and human service workers also need to always maintain value and ethics in carrying out responsibilities so that it is easy to approach customers that and gain trust from them. And the second process is individual and family assessment and diagnosis. This step is very important because the process in the selection of goal and intervention plans is highly dependent on this assessment process. The human service worker needs to assessment of individual, families, and clients. This is done to identify the cause of the problem that occurred at the Holiday Inn Resort. Human service worker also need to diagnose the problems that are the cause of the business turnover of Holiday Inn Resort. Human service worker needs to conduct an analysis through interviews with individuals who are important and related in identifying the cause of the Holiday Inn Resort problems. Third process is planning and resources identification. Human service worker needs to carry out planning before intervening on the Holiday Inn Resort. In this process, the human service worker also need to set goals and objectives to be achieved at the end of the existing process provided to this Holiday Inn Resort. All information obtained and collected should be used to obtain appropriate resources to help restore the Holiday Inn Resort. Fourth process is linking client to needed resources. As Holiday Inn Resort is one of the resorts that has been affected due to MCO, human service worker can link the client to needed resources such as Credit Council and Debt Management Agency. CCDMA. CCDMA can assist the company in better debt management. There are great resources for those who are drowning in debt and anxious about not being able to pay it off, especially now that the blanket moratorium is coming to an end. CCDMA also be able to assist the company in rebuilding their company credit and provided free financial counseling. For holiday in result to get back on track, human service worker can assist the company to join the debt management program, DMP by CCDMA. Fifth process is service implementation and coordination, where human service worker will carry out the plan that has been created in the previous step. Since human service workers suggested holiday in result to join the MP by CCDMA, therefore human service worker will make an appointment with the involved agency with site, calling in professional, attempting fixes, acquiring tools and whatever else the job may need to, so that the result can get back on the track in an industry. The sixth process is monitoring service delivery. Human service worker will review and gather data information from all relevant sources and its documentation regarding the case management plan, including activities and service provided, so that human service worker can determine the plan effectiveness. For example, by monitoring service delivery in holiday and resort, human service worker will be able to know what caused the shutting down on a holiday and resort. It could be the holiday and worker didn't respond, didn't maintain a positive attitude toward customer, or perhaps the worker is not friendly to each other. So human service worker will try to improve the plan and implement the new plan in order for holiday and resort to get back on business. Seventh process is advocacy to obtain service by conducting advocacy marketing to continue and improve the holiday and resort business in the future. Advocacy marketing is getting existing customers to share their positive experience with the company or business to other people who are really curious about the quality service. Says customer advocacy is one of the marketing strategies that encourage most satisfied customers to proactively recommend holiday and resort and its services to other potential customers. While other social sharing customers act as advocates through sharing content from holiday and resort website or social media on their own platform. Customers may share their experience with by staying in holiday and resort services through a reference statement or testimonial. The eighth process is evaluation. By following this step, involved in the case management process and having the resources, credit council and debt management agencies, CCDMA, joint debt management program, DMP by CCDMA, business youth performance evaluation to assess the service work around this field. This helps to determine and the business expectation for the future evaluation process generally involve a series of steps by developing guidelines and standards against which a business performance may be compared. Also gathering appraisal information which were analyzed against the established and standard reflects the business holiday and result performance annually from the beginning this business opened. Last process is termination and follow-up. Final stage of case management and marks as important initial to keep running again the business. There may be some safety feature for put into place and involve communicating with another business help from credit council and debt management agency, CCDMA, to pay off debt and other business role that make holiday and result be active in operation.
Human service workers offer a wide range of services aimed at improving the life of their clients. Client groups, the sort of organisation that employs professional workers, and their role within the organisation all influence the type of support they provide. Human service workers need to play the role of researchers to evaluate and plan to understand the client problem, which is the in-hotel. As a human service worker, researchers should be sensitive to the research findings and also help human service workers to understand human needs, their social functioning and their adaptation processes in a society. For an example, human service workers should play a role as researchers in knowing and collecting background information and issues faced to analyze the issues faced by the holiday in resort, and then formulate an action plan to address the issues that occur in the holiday in resort. Secondly, the human service worker needs to act as an educator to put the plan into action. Human service workers will help provide information or relevant information to solve problems faced by the clients. For an example, ways to raise funds and prepare working papers to rerun the holidays in resort by upgrading the infrastructure and surrounding conditions in order to attract the attentions of the public. Human service workers routinely help in providing emotional support in addition to other forms of assistance because their clients frequently face multiple difficult problems at the same time. For an example, linking in hotel management with the credit counselling and debt management agency solve the financial problem. Human service workers also help the hotel in management to manage stress due to various problems. Human service workers as advocates require a few sets of skills and knowledge to help the client access the help and resources the client needs. First and foremost, it is vital for human service workers taking on the role of advocates to have good interpersonal skills as well as a good basic on working with people from different backgrounds. For an example, the advocates can help to remove any barriers or obstacles that prevent holiday in resort from their received benefits or services.